You are now listening to Talk Your Jits podcast.
Welcome back to the Talk Your Jits podcast. This podcast is, as the name implies, all about jiu-jitsu. I'm your host, Lamar Smith. And stepping on the mats today is a purple belt who runs One Community Jiu-Jitsu Club located in Kansas City, Kansas, who also a purple belt. I don't know if I mentioned that. Ladies and gentlemen, coming on the mats, Ray Freeman.
Hey, thank you, Lamar. I appreciate for that awesome introduction. Man, I've never been introduced like that. That was a good one.
Man, you know, I gotta show hospitality, man. You stepping on the mats with me, man. Gotta show that hospitality where I can, dude.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You sure you ain't from the South country? You know, that country hospitality, that Southern hospitality?
I mean, I got, family was born in Alabama, but I've been in Detroit since day one. So
okay, all right.
It's in my genes, in my roots, in my bloodline. Yep. All right, well, man. Well, once again, man, I'd like to, extend my appreciation for you taking out the time to do an episode with me, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah, I know we talked a little bit before. It was like a month or two ago, but now we're gonna really get into a little bit of everything in this episode. So let's get it cracking, man. Let's not waste any more time. So if you want to formally introduce yourself again, by all means, and let's hear your jiu-jitsu journey, man.
Yes, sir. So my name is Ray Freeman. I'm born and raised here in Wyandotte County, Kansas, which is Kansas City, Kansas. I have been training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu since 2015. Started under Jason High at ATTHD, and have since moved on to be the founder of One Community Jiu-Jitsu Club, which is a nonprofit initiative to make Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu affordable and easily accessible, especially for low to moderate income families, which is essentially the demographic that Wyandotte County is. So
okay,
that's what I do, buddy. That's my introduction for myself.
Okay, well, how'd you get started, man? What got you wrapped up in this sport?
Man, jiu-jitsu is one of those things where like everyone has that humbling first experience, right? And I feel like, I'm no different. For me, it was one time a coach was giving a private lesson to, what I would consider a soccer mom. He told me to jump on the mats and see how I did. Long story short, man, she jumped on my back, choked me like 3 times in a row, and I was instantly humbled. I felt like that sense of drowning, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing with my life. And I'd been working out at the time a little bit, so I thought I'd kind of be able to throw her around, but nah, bro, it was an instantly humbling experience. So, I tell people you're either going to have one or two reactions from there. You're either never going to want to feel like that again, and you're never going to come back. Or you're never going to want to feel like that again, and you're going to dedicate your life to figuring out how to not get in that situation, which I chose the latter.
And here we are.
Exactly. I was like, dude, I got to learn this because, man, if old lady can just chop me down like that, then I'm doing something wrong with my day-to-day.
Man, what? It's like you said, it's such humbling, man. Like, and it's just a proving that no matter who I've talked to, everyone had that same experience. Everyone had that same experience. You go in with the mentality of like, hey, I'm strong, I'm big, I should be able to do this.
Yep.
And the smallest person in the room just sits you in the corner.
Man, and it's just like I think again, people, that's one or two forks of the road for people. And when people say there's 2 types of people in this world, I think they're talking about those 2 types of people. The people that will like completely bow out of the situation, or the people that will kind of dive deeper and go further and, have that willpower to push through. So yeah, man.
I call it fit or fold. Either you're going to fit in and do what you got to do to get there, or you're going to fold and just walk away.
Absolutely. I could never, though. That's just me personally. I could never, again, knowing that I was essentially helpless, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because you've been training a long time, Lamar. How long you been training, brother?
It's coming up on 8 years. 8 years. Yeah.
Do you remember the feeling like 9 years ago? How you felt
Dude, I remember the drive there. I remember the day, dude. It was same thing. My first class was an open mat. So they was like, just if we feel comfortable, just get out there. So I'm like,
to the wolves.
Okay. I was like, I never done it. So, and it's like when I was, watching them roll and everything looked like, crouching tiger, hidden dragon, people rolling, flipping and twisting and turning. And I'm like, what am I going to do in this situation? So end up rolling with two guys. One guy was much younger and the other guy was much older. And I'm thinking to myself, I got this. Man, when I say I got dusted, was an understatement. And it wasn't nothing they were doing. It was just I could not move. I could not get away. It's like, obviously, like, looking back, because I did not know what to do. But, still at the same time, it's like, dude, I've never in my life felt so helpless.
Yep. And it's just like, man, I really think that everyone should at least feel that at least once in their life. And kind of decide what path they want to take forward. If they want to, as the American saying goes, pick themselves up by the bootstraps, and dive in, or if you're gonna bow out, brother, and maybe rely on someone else to save your life in the fight.
Yeah, nah, man. I went home that day and I thought about it, I lost sleep. I ain't gonna lie to you. I lost sleep because I was like, there is no way someone should be able to handle someone like this like it's nothing, especially someone smaller than you.
Not even breathing hard, right? Barely breaking sweat.
I am dying, gasping for air, calling on every religion I could think of, and they just chilling. I'm like, we ain't doing this now. This ain't never happened to me no more.
Right? They telling you what to do. They telling you how to move while you all twisted up.
I'm over here dying, like, man, shut up. Ain't nobody actually. Yeah.
So yeah, that's essentially, man, how I got into jiu-jitsu. And from there, I found out that it was more than what it is on the surface, which is a very practical self-defense. But for me, I started even looking to do it just to kind of lose some weight, man. I was just looking to lose some pounds. And so it's a really great physical benefit. But probably 6 months into my journey, I had my wife was pregnant, and we needed someone to help us move. And I come from a background where, dude, I don't have a whole lot of family. I grew up in foster care. I can't really, just pick up mom and dad and come help me here, right? So it was a situation where I leaned into the jiu-jitsu community at that time, and they helped me move, man, while my wife was pregnant. And that's what really kind of showed me that this was a place that I could thrive in a community, right? And lean into people that really wanted to see me grow as a person and just be better for me. So, yeah, it was really eye-opening. Because I've done everything, dude. I've tried all kinds of sports. I've played soccer. Bowling was my first love. Basketball. I grew up in the '90s. We street hooping was our thing.
Everybody,
street football. Literally, bro. I grew up playing sports. I've played it. I've done it all. All the religions. I've tried different churches. Just being in foster care, lived with different families that kind of had different denominations. So got to experience all of that. I tell people, with all of my experience in the short life that I had, nothing checks off as many boxes as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu does.
Big facts, man.
Physically, mentally, community, self-defense, and humility, which we kind of touched on earlier. We didn't really say what it was, but that's humility, brother. That's us deciding that we are going to take the learning approach as opposed to, if I can kind of speak transparently for a second, my initial reaction as a black man is to spaz out on somebody trying to choke me. You know what I mean? But that's not going to help me in that situation. That was a really humbling, and it exposed me to what true humility meant.
Yeah. And this, I mean, that's the best way to put it, man, because it's one of those things where so much happens in that little small span of you trying jujitsu for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, for people who listen who'd never done jujitsu, and you hear a lot of my guests, and I talk about that, like I said, that humbling experience. It's more for yourself than anything else, because you have to accept the fact that you just got defeated.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like you said, being an African American man, that's kind of a hard thing to want to admit to, that someone defeated you.
Yep.
And be like, okay, there's, like you said, there's two ways I can take this. I can get mad, never do it again. But knowing how I am, and coming from you, same way, that would have haunted you every day.
Yep.
Like, I cannot believe I just let this guy control me and all the other stuff. Even though it was he's probably like sleep or going home by his life. I'm over here still in villain arcing it all right now.
Exactly. Yes.
But
yes.
it's one of those things where it's like I'm happy that the guy Adam that I met, who introduced me to jiu-jitsu, he was there. He was like, we talked about it and everything else. Even after, like, the day after, he was like, "You good, bro?" Blah, blah. I was like, "Yeah, man, just thinking about it." He's like, "Well, class is this time if you want to show up, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, I got to show up now. So yeah, man, it was one of those decisions. I'm like, yeah, I'm happy I stuck with it.
Absolutely, brother. I mean, and that's the thing. It's not easy, right? Like, there's so many hills, and then there's so many valleys in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna feel one day you're beating everybody, all your techniques are working, like everything's just butter. Other days it's like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I'm just surviving at this point.
I'm just here for the vibes.
Yeah, bro. I'm just here for the vibes, bro. Just have your way with me. Shit.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the cool thing about, again, jiu-jitsu. You get to really practice humility on the day-to-day. And what other activities really give you that kind of experience?
Right.
Where you can, I've gone full circle. I have not found that activity personally. Like,
no, you're right. Yeah.
There's just not a whole lot of options where people can experience true humility, as opposed to you hear people getting out of prison saying that, "Oh, I wish someone would have told me this back before then." And like, that's sometimes a humility experience, but do you have to go through prison to get that? Or, someone drinking and driving, getting out of a coma, saying, "Oh man, I wish someone would have told me not to." Like, is that how we have to experience humility, or can we experience it with jiu-jitsu?
Right, in a more controlled environment.
Bruh, crazy.
Yeah. I mean, and it's gotten to the point, man, where, like, my life is nothing but jiu-jitsu. Like, I've always had a love for martial arts. I've done karate, I've done schools where they just focus like on MMA and stuff like that, but it was jiu-jitsu that was like, you know what, I want to stick with this. But now it's kind of like I'm at the point where I'm trying to absorb everything I can about whatever martial art I can to make it fit my jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
So
yep.
So yeah, it's been
go ahead. Well, jiu-jitsu is like it kind of is the MMA of grappling. Like, we got judo in what we do. We have wrestling in what we do, all different types of wrestling, freestyle, Greco. I mean, we got leg locks. We got all kinds of access to these different things that most martial arts don't have access to. So
yeah,
it's really cool.
Yeah, I love it.
We love jiu-jitsu.
I would not do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, man. Just two brothers that love jiu-jitsu.
Very much, man. Very much.
Yeah.
So let's no, go ahead.
What's your kind of game, brother? Talk to me about your jiu-jitsu game.
Man, see, look, I gotta stop doing that. Because I got a habit of teaching people like how to stop my game, but it does make me better.
Yep.
So one thing is about my game is my school is we're under Joe Moera. So a lot of old school smash style jiu-jitsu. So that's how we play. And coming from a school where when I started jiu-jitsu, just to give you an example, I was probably pushing like 280 when I started doing jiu-jitsu.
Yep.
And after a while, I started losing the weight, and I probably got down. We'll just say about 250-ish. I was still the smallest guy in the gym. So we have a lot of big dudes, a lot of big wrestlers, so like my coach is like my instructor, he's like 6-something. He's a big guy.
Yeah.
So I got used to being on the bottom. So so I had to really develop a bottom game. Even till now, like when I get like if I get on top, sometimes I'm like, oh shit, what am I doing? But yeah, man, I love using like Americanas, Kimuras for sweeps. I've been working on developing a good bottom half guard. Because I'm not fast. I accept that. I'm a big guy. I'm older. I'm explosive, but I'm not fast. So I'm just trying to get that timing and everything down to that works for my benefit. So that's kind of like my game there.
Absolutely.
So, and guillotine. I will find a guillotine from anywhere.
Don't be silly, jump the ghillie.
Don't be silly, jump the ghillie, baby.
Oh yeah, that's good, bro. That's good.
But that's what it is, man. It's one of those things where it's like I'm always like, okay, how can I make this work for me and my size? Because not every technique is gonna work, not every situation is gonna be pristine, but I still need those couple keys where it's like my get out of jail free card.
Yeah, 1000%. I mean, we kind of all should have those, right? I think that's what jiu-jitsu really is about, right? Like go back to what works for your game. I've always been a half guard kind of guy, against the general consensus. Right, like it's always been kind of frowned upon to be in half guard. And look, I agree. Like there are days where again I'm like, oh, I'm getting smashed. But it's if I'm gonna get smashed, it's gonna be at my pace.
Exactly.
Like, you can beat me, but it's gonna be on my terms, dog.
You're gonna earn this one.
So yeah, dude, that's it sounds like we have pretty similar games, bro. Like I chill doing my rolls. I never force anything. I flow through positions. I've started to build a lot of trust and just going from different guards to different guards and just getting some good sweeps, figuring out where people's weight is, just based off of my personal, feelings. If I feel like their weight is shifted back behind them, then I'm gonna go up and over the top and get
up and over top. Yep.
If their weight is, a little bit forward, I'm gonna go underneath and
not the back.
You know what I mean? Like so, yeah, like being able to kind of figure that and set that up has been really nice in the game. And yeah, brother, jiu-jitsu, it's just a never-ending puzzle, right? Kimuras are right there. You can, sit up and snatch that Kimura. So yeah, man, that's what I spent a lot of my mat time doing.
Gotcha. So like I said, like I said earlier, we had a personal conversation about the One Community Jiu-Jitsu Club, but for the people out there, man, going a little bit more detail about how it got started and what was the mission behind it and kind of like where you are with it now.
Yeah. So One Community Jiu-Jitsu Club, it really formed after the gym that I was training at, it closed. And then COVID was happening, right? So, but during my whole time of training, I was always kind of realizing what it was doing for me as an individual, having a lot of trauma that I carried into my adulthood from foster care. And I knew that I wanted to make sure that people with that kind of experience got access to this activity, at least to try it. Fast forward a little bit, I'm watching things on the news. There's these school shootings and COVID is happening, and I'm like, dude, we feel like we're just losing our sense of community.
Humanity.
Yeah, humanity, essentially. Yeah, truly. And I feel like, again, for me, jiu-jitsu really kind of helped me reel that back in, because as a former foster kid, dude, I was just out here by myself, going without any kind of direction. I didn't really trust a whole lot of people. I mean, I had a lot of abandonment issues, a ton of trust issues, and jiu-jitsu really helped me bring that back. You know what I mean? I mean, you have to have trust in jiu-jitsu. Like, once you tap, like, I have to trust that this guy's going to let me go, and they don't really want to hurt me, right?
Yeah.
So that really brought back my sense of community, which led me to believe that if jiu-jitsu was practiced on a wide scale, then maybe, and I don't know, right? This is me as a man. I'm just saying maybe that can help us as a country get a little bit better in our community senses, right? So
yeah.
And I'm kind of like a hopeless romantic in that sense, right? A little bit of naivety, a little bit of like a whole lot of optimism, but I can't just sit back and not try anything. That is the origins of One Community Jiu-Jitsu Club.
Yeah.
Speaking full blank transparent, we started just hosting classes completely free as a nonprofit. I'm learning how to make a business sustainable, which, it kind of takes away a little bit from the spirit of the mission, but also it helps kind of fuel the tools that we need for the mission. It's been a really weird journey, if I'm being completely honest, Lamar.
Oh, I get it, man. I get it.
It's been a really weird journey, right? Like I'm just one man. I'm like, dude, I really wish that jiu-jitsu was more widespread. Maybe if we practice this as kids in school, maybe we grow up with these morals and ethics kind of instilled in our souls and our bodies. And that's what I've been aiming for ever since. Is like, how do we get Brazilian jiu-jitsu into schools?
Yeah.
Dude,
I'm on that mission now. I'm trying to get there now.
And so when I go and talk to these schools, essentially the only hiccup that I run into is, what do you guess, Lamar? What would you guess? I'm curious. Yeah, without me spoiling it, what would you guess would be the main hiccup for getting jiu-jitsu into schools?
The main hiccup that I've seen so far, the few people I've talked to, was it takes some convincing to convince them that this is not violent. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, we don't want to promote violence in school. Like, well, this is not violent. So that's been my hiccup. Okay.
That's what I thought too. After 5 years of doing this, that is not the main hiccup.
Okay.
The main hiccup is money.
The main
hiccup is, because here's the thing: principals right now, especially post-COVID, principals are looking for a way to help shift our kids' behaviors in the right direction. They're looking to get creative with different ideas. We kind of have a little bit of a lost generation incoming. And I think principals are starting to realize that. And jiu-jitsu, has it's been on the forefront for about the past 2 or 3 years as something that's really been able to shift a lot of individual behaviors. You see Dana White talking about it on podcasts. You see Mark Zuckerberg training jiu-jitsu now, and shifted his mindsets a little bit. And it's really kind of cool to see all these advocates. So it's not getting principals to say yes to do the jiu-jitsu program. It's these schools, they don't have the funding.
Yeah, that's just life, man. Just everything is about money. And I'm in that same boat when it comes to jiu-jitsu in general, but just martial arts and self-defense, and just being more active as a whole has been like this thing I've been I guess you want to say this pilgrimage I've been on for like the last couple of years. And I'm that same way, dude. I'll be reading stories and seeing, kids spaz out or shoot schools and stuff like that. And it's like, well, because they don't have that outlet. And it's like, man, if they just had jujitsu. I'm not, I'm just like you, that helpless romantic who love this sport, who, I can look back in these past, almost a decade of this sport and just be like, man, I see how much it done for me. I see how it changed my outlook and my view on myself, the world, and everything else. I was like, man, I just need everybody else to see this now.
I know.
Like, I just need everybody else to see what I see right now.
Bro, I've been told by pastors, that I sound like a pastor when I'm talking about jiu-jitsu. It's like
I know I get preachy.
I'm listening like, listen, y'all all need to hear this here. Like, man, this is the truth. This will save your life. It's in a practical sense and in the non-practical sense, right? Like for me, it's if I feel like if someone was to come through my door right now, I would be able to defend myself, right? Or make the right decisions that I need to get out of that situation. Doesn't always have to be, hand-to-hand combat. Maybe running away is the best decision, right? Like jiu-jitsu teaches us that. Like we don't have to fight all the time. So anyways, yeah, dude, that's essentially how One Community Jiu-Jitsu Club gets started. It was really just me trying to do my best to make sure that this becomes more easily accessible and affordable. And it's kind of turned into, a little bit of a nonprofit organization that is going in that direction.
That's dope, dude. That's dope.
Yeah.
Because it's not, us growing up, we had rec centers that taught karate and stuff like that. So it's not, you don't get that, you don't see that many anymore. So it's like just trying to, like you said, make it affordable, but at the same time, not waste your time and money trying to build this. So it's a lot of gray areas when it comes to,
brother,
when we're trying to turn our passion into something bigger. And it's just like, it gets to the point like, man, I want everybody to see this, but it's like, man, I just want to do jiu-jitsu myself. I just want to make something I can do myself for everybody.
You kind of hit the nail on the head, bro. Like this is something that a lot of people get, I guess, kind of twisted up about how nonprofits are supposed to work. And even myself, when I started this nonprofit, I was like, yeah, we're going to do this all for free. It's going to be great. No, it don't work like that. Like if we don't have any income to fuel this mission, we're never going to be able to pay for gis. We're never going to be able to pay for mats when we need to. We're never going to be able to pay these instructors. And eventually all of that is going to burn out. And a lot of people kind of look at nonprofits as, I guess I would say, shifty for doing business like that. And I'm like, and they just don't really understand how nonprofits work.
I mean, because you got to admit, some nonprofits, you hear that word nonprofit, it's kind of like, somebody's going to profit.
You're 1,000%
going to be a profit somewhere.
You're 1,000% right. Yeah, like there's going to be someone that's making income for the mission. There are a lot of nonprofits that will put a lot of money into assets. And listen, I'm not that kind of guy. I've never got into this to get rich, but I've seen nonprofits that, are, and I can't even say that's the wrong thing, right? Because again, they need income to fuel the mission. It's like, it's not for profit, it's for the mission. The more money they have, the more mouths they can feed if they're serving the homeless. The more money they have, the more hospitals they can build if they're doing just children's hospitals, etc. Right? So it's just a really weird world.
Yeah.
It's a really weird world.
I mean, because I gotta admit, I was one of those people that always hear like, oh yeah, we're a non-profit organization. It's like, are you really? But after, like I said, after we talked and just doing research on my own about the things that I want to do, I was like, okay, this, if it was explained like this from the beginning, it wouldn't be,
Man, again, I didn't know too, dude. I was very, very ignorant to the idea, and I had to learn a lot about how a nonprofit should work. But yeah, I mean, if you really think about it, like it needs people that are going to be there on the day to day. So I get a lot of my nonprofit origins from an organization called the Learning Club, which is an after school tutoring program. And so the basis of this program is they bring in adult volunteers from different portions of the city to work with students one-to-one. So kids get off the bus, we're in a community center, and then these adult volunteers and the kids all come to this community centers. We pair them up. They get help with their reading. They get help with their homework, etc. That's the basis of the nonprofit. But how do those, how do those pairs get matched up? Who reaches out to the volunteers? Who is scheduling to make sure the bus stop is running on time?
Right.
Who is setting the programming? It's like that's the stuff that is going to take someone's time in the day, like to be dedicated to that.
Dedicated to that,
yeah. Can't be a volunteer. So it's like if you don't have that person dedicated during the day, this thing ain't gonna work.
Ain't gonna work.
You gotta pay that person. And if you know anything about paying people, Lamar, it's expensive.
Very.
People's the most expensive resource there is. If you're running an education component, like in my opinion, jiu-jitsu is, that's where people start looking at your organization a little bit weird. It's like, because people...
Hold on 1 second. 1 second. All right, sorry about that, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's we're just talking about how nonprofits operate. So yeah, that's I think that pretty much covers it, man. It's just essentially the nonprofits do need income to make the mission work. There's just that fine line that a lot of the general population doesn't understand.
Yeah, I mean, because it's for people who's ever started a business or thought about starting a business, started anything, man. It takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of commitment. It takes a lot of heartbreak. It's so much you go through, and you're like, "What am I doing this for?"
Yeah. At the end of the day, I'm doing this, for my community, for getting Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu into public schools, and to be an advocate for that.
Yeah, man. And that's something like I love so much, because I'm that same way. Like if I could give someone the opportunity to change their lives before they even know it, I want to be, if I can be a part of that, I would love to, because that's kind of the one of the things that my instructor kind of like distilled in me when it came to just like as a whole, when it comes to like jiu-jitsu. Like he has his businesses, so it's not like he needs to have a big school and all the other stuff. He just like, hey, if I can just make enough to keep the building open and to keep everything in the black, I'm good. And I'm the same way. Like as much as I love the sport, I just want to do it because I love it. If I could do everything for free, I would, but gotta have some type of compensation for the time. But other than that, man, I'm like, just come train. Just come train.
Yeah,
just
absolutely. That's essentially our whole culture, our whole philosophy is, we want to feel like we're very beginner friendly. We want people to feel like they can at least come give it a shot here, and if they want to stay, great. If they want to try something else, if they want to train from Worlds, go ahead, buddy. You want to train to be an MMA fighter, great. That's probably not here, but you can get some good fundamentals. We got you,
right? And that's kind of where it's funny, because the guy where we're at right now, the school that we've kind of been adopted at was it's called Rise Up Martial Arts. Kind of a quick backstory. It was kind of one of those like moments in passing type deal. Like one of the guys that we train with, he met someone at a tournament. He's like, hey, we're opening up a school, yada yada yada. And then we were at a spot that we were about to leave. He found out, invited us over, and it was kind of it, man. Like once we got there, we was kind of like, all right, here we go again. Are we going to get into another situation where we get cool, everything starts going good, and then everything just started falling apart? But I was like, nah, man, this is I was keep telling myself this. I was like, I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm gonna give it a chance. And now, man, we're moving in such a fast pace to where like we finally got our kids class going now. You know, we got like then there's 6 days of jujitsu now, and we're steady trying to like find ways to grow and find ways to build this community and, you know, build this place that we call home. So, man, jujitsu, dog.
That's
jujitsu, man.
That's it.
Jiu-jitsu.
It's like we just want to be able to do jujitsu, and I mean, it takes a lot of resources to do jujitsu. I never knock, you know, my jiu-jitsu people that charge a high membership, high overhead, because I understand what it takes to run an effective jiu-jitsu program. It's going to take a lot of space. Everybody know that space is expensive.
Expensive, boy.
Let's not even get into bills about that space. You want air conditioning? You want heat in the winter? You know, like, I mean, if you're talking about a 7,000 square foot space, that's a nice looking gym. That'll fit about 100 people, but it's gonna cost you.
It's gonna touch them pockets.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where people don't understand all the dynamics unless you've either done it or tried to do it. It's pretty tricky, brother. It's pretty tricky. So I've never knocked the people for charging $200 a month because, dude, pay your rent, pay your mortgage, dude. Like you got to. You got to. You put that's the trick. That's the trick with jiu-jitsu.
Man, you know, especially in most situations where, you know, you really don't get funding until you really have something established, and that's coming out of your pocket. So like, yeah, I'm not about to do this. I'm not about to do this for free.
Yeah, no, it's
if I could, I would. But
so me, you know, I was very, you know, I'm very good at, you know, making the right connections, especially because here's the thing, dude. I really believe in this. I'm very, very passionate about this thing. So, and I think that seeps through in a lot of my conversations. And for years, it was like I would not go a day without at least having 1 or 2 conversations about the idea of one community jiu-jitsu club. Eventually, one of those conversations led me to the original space that we were in, which is in an abandoned elementary school. It's a 700 square feet space, not big at all, right? But even that 700 square feet of space took $5,000 to put mats in. You know what I mean? And people don't understand, like, come on, dude. Like, people don't understand that that's what it takes to fuel this mission. Like, it is like we need income to keep this thing afloat. But I was able to get that space, the space itself, almost free. You know what I mean? It was very, very good relationship because the person that owned that space, they saw the passion, they saw the need, and they saw where we were going. So a lot of it's about relationships, right? And explaining what the mission is and trying to work it out so that it's mutually beneficial for everyone.
Yeah. I'm that same way too, man. I mean, as you see, I got on a jiu-jitsu shirt now. Anything I'm wearing is jiu-jitsu related. So whatever, you know, I keep like, don't talk about jiu-jitsu. Don't talk about jiu-jitsu. Don't talk about jiu-jitsu. And then someone's like, hey, nice shirt. Hey, speaking of which.
Nope. Talk about jiu-jitsu, bro. There was something I read like on Reddit a long time ago, right around the time that this jiu-jitsu idea was formulating. And they said no more 0 days.
Yeah.
Said no more 0 days towards whatever goal that you have. If you have a really authentic goal, no more 0 days towards that goal. That could be something as small as writing a note. That could be something as small as doing some research on internet, or it could be as big as applying to get actual business started, right? Like it can be just at least incremental progress towards whatever goal. So no more 0 days. and eventually
No
you
more.
will get to that goal. That's all I've been living by, bro. That's literally like, if I can say the one thing that's been driving this is that, and it's kind of just snowballed from there. Like, I'm not gonna have no more 0 days towards like my ideas behind what I think should happen as far as solutions for these school shootings. I'm gonna try something.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
yeah.
I'm gonna try something, and it led to this. it led, and I was like, okay, and it just continues to follow that.
Yeah. It's funny. I was scrolling on Facebook. It's about to get a little colorful, but and it's like this one little line stuck with me for so long. I don't remember who said it. I wish I really did. But it was saying, like, have you ever heard a crackhead wake up and not think, I'm not gonna get cracked today? Are they not going like, you know what? I'm not gonna get cracked today. Never heard that before. Every single day they up hustling to get that hit.
Yeah.
So what's our excuse?
That's it, bro. Bro. So when you talk about not wanting to, talk about jiu-jitsu, I went through that. Phase because I was like, dude, I'm talking about jiu-jitsu to grandmas, bro. Like
everybody.
But here's the thing about grandmas, bro. Not to put it this way, but those are the people that want to hear like what kind of passion projects are out there. Those are the kind of people that might invest or donate to this kind of opportunity. They might want to really see an impact, and if you can spark their passion and it matches, then that's the tools that you need to fuel your mission. While they might not be able to have the energy, they have the resources, and they might have some expertise, some knowledge for you. So it's like talking to people about your goals and ambitions. Like, it might sound cringy, it might be too much one day, but hey, you might hit that one person.
Yeah.
I've hit a couple of those people a few times. So
yeah, I got this one guy I've been training. He's been doing privates with me for like since the beginning of January. And he did like a little hustle class for like the seniors, and I was sticking around. And he was like, he said, man, I don't want to put you on the spot, but you want to show some stuff. And I was just like, it was maybe like about 7 or 8 elderly women, and I'm looking like, okay, what can I show them that's not gonna be too crazy? So I just showed them how to easily break out of someone grabbing you.
Absolutely.
Easy. Yeah, so I was like, okay, this is the easiest I can make this. And just the spark and just the excitement that came over their faces when I did that, because I'm a big guy, I'm standing around about 240-ish. So I was like, I walked up to her and I was like, okay, I'm about to grab you. So I grabbed her by her wrist, and she's just looking. I was like, okay, this is what I want you to do. I was like, you see where my thumb is? And she's like, yeah. I said, I want you to pull your hand as hard as you can towards my thumb, as hard as you can. And she was looking at me like, I was like, do it, just do it. And she just like, you know what? Snatched. And her face was like, you let me go. I was like, no, I didn't. Let me go. I was like, I'll do you one better. I grab you with my dominant hand. So I grabbed it with my right hand. I was like, I'm squeezing, right? You can feel that. She's like, yeah. I was like, now do it again. So she did it. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do you better. I'm gonna grab you with both hands. And I grabbed her arm with both hands. I was like, same thing. And it was just like so amazed by it. And so I was just like,
I love doing that kind of stuff, bro.
Love it, man. Love it.
That is so cool. And that's what we do it for, right? It's like, bro, like, listen, I don't need to be rich. I get rich seeing that.
Yeah, that's my payment. If I could pay bills off that, I'd be good.
That was my theory. It was like, shoot, I get paid doing just seeing that would be great. But I can't take those to the banks. They don't take those IOUs.
Right.
But I mean, that's essentially what I do at different vendor events. I always try to get people to take their first jiu-jitsu lesson with us, and I give them the option between an easy technique, which is essentially a grip break, a medium technique, which I would show them a rear naked choke, and a hard technique, which isn't really hard, but I would show them how to escape a rear naked choke, like just stand. Right. 3 simple things that would just kind of get people to just like, oh, you just that, yeah, all right. that's pretty easy. I can do that. So whatever they choose, you want an easy technique, I'll show you that. If you want a medium technique, hey, let's get you your first jiu-jitsu lesson right now.
And I always like disguise it as like, I just say self-defense.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna turn into jiu-jitsu, but
Yeah.
I just feel like if I just say self-defense and just keep it like as a broad name, people will be more inclined to try it versus saying like, hey, come try jiu-jitsu or karate or because they think like, oh, you gonna try to hurt me. No, self-defense, baby. No, you about to hurt me. I've done this before. I'm teaching you how to do it. So
and it is. Yep, it is
Yeah.
self-defense. You're right. Yeah.
That's all it is. It's if you want to just boil it down to the simplest thing, it's just self-defense. Self-defense, man. Yeah. But like you said, man, it's always been martial arts always been a passion of mine, and I've always feel excited to meet like-minded people like yourself that's on that same journey. Like, man, I just want to get it out there, man. I just want it's almost like how TVs was. I want a TV in every house. Like, I want a jiu-jitsu black belt in every house on the block.
Yeah, bro. At this point, my whole family trains. Me, my wife, my son. Yeah, we all get it in. I have a motto that I read a while ago: a family that trains together stays together. Yeah. So we gonna keep doing that, and it really does help, brother. It helps. I feel like it's helped me as a person that was trying to leave my childhood behind, step into adulthood. I feel like it's helped me as a person who was about to step into fatherhood.
Yeah.
I feel like it's helped me manage, my marriage. And I think my wife would say a lot of the same, so it's really cool as a family activity. We're all spending time together right here on the mats. Who doesn't want that for their life?
Right. And who doesn't want to work out their differences on doing something that's, that's physical, and you just get all that energy and frustration out and just go home and eat dinner and, see what happens,
Yeah, chill. sit your butt down somewhere. Because listen, that's what really we're talking about. After jiu-jitsu, ain't no more fighting. This is what people don't understand about jiu-jitsu people on the day-to-day. This is why we're so chill. Like, dude, we did the fight. Like, I did the fight last night, and I'm probably going to be doing the fight later today. I ain't got no time to be dealing with this right now.
I don't want to, man. What? What?
It's like I got rolls later, bro. Like, I got a 200-pound dude that's about to try to choke me in a second. So
right, I don't got time for this. Like, let me just...
we chilling, you chilling. If you mad, you be mad over there. I'm gonna be over here doing jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, and that's same way, man. I like today. I got going to do some boxing class today. A boxing class today, and I'm like, this has have to be the most stupidest thing ever when you think about it. When it comes to like martial arts, working out, fitness, or whatever, we get up, we go to this place, we beat each other up, we beat ourselves up. And then we just go home and be like, ain't shit happened.
Yeah. For real.
Like, I walk around with bruises and back, like right now, my back is on fire. My back is on fire, dude.
He's walking all gingerly down the hallway.
Just walking like this. I'm like, where you going? I'm going to class.
Yeah, bro.
I'm going back to class.
Going back. I need it.
I need it.
Well, that's it, bro. It's just like I was talking to one of my cop friends. He said it was a stress inoculator. Like when you, I was like, that's an interesting term, but it's like when you've reached that high level of stress in your day to day, other situations just aren't. They're just not. They're almost not even relevant. And I hate to say it like that, but like, dude, I just tried to have to fight for my life, like, let's call it what it is. Jiu-jitsu, we're simulating life through death, right? Yeah. If I don't tap and that dude don't let me go, he gonna kill me. So
going on to glory.
Exactly. So it's like, I've done that. So what is this road rage? This dude honking behind me, like, go ahead, all right, bro, you need to get past me. I'm gonna move over so you can go ahead and speed
Go
on,
ahead and do
bro.
your thing, big dog. Go
You
ahead and
know?
swerve around. Do your thing, big dog.
ain't no big thing. That's not stressful to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm that same way, man. It's like after like now I teach boxing at Title. So I train I train in boxing too. I train with Jake, the owner of Rise Up. We do like Mondays, we sparring, it's MMA at this point because it started with just boxing drills and then it was to partner drills to sparring to like, hey, let's add a little couple kicks. So it's just constantly takedowns, and now it's just full blown MMA. So
yeah.
But yeah, man, I do all that fighting out there so I could just be like, you know what? I could just be at peace with myself.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for real. At the end of the day, that's what I'm looking for too, and yeah, man, it's very peaceful. I just want to be able to continue to train jiu-jitsu for as long as I can and help other people get access if that's what my heart is telling me to do, which it is. So I'm gonna keep doing that for as long as I can.
Yep. That's it, man. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, Ray, man, I gotta ask you, man. We ask everybody that comes on the show, past or present, man. Who would you love to get a chance to roll with? Your top 3 people.
Ooh, top 3 people, past or present.
Past or present.
Ooh, man, top 3 people. Let me marinate on that for just a quick second.
Okay.
I would say Marcelo's on that list. Marcelo's on that list.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to have that experience. Rafa Mendez is easily on that list as well. In fact, I at least I try to mimic a lot of my game, especially when it comes to passing around Rafa Mendez. I love how he flows through people's guards. He has this YouTube quote. He said, someone asked him, what do you do when someone passes your guard? And he said, no one ever passes my guard. I was like, yeah, that's so dope. So I love Rafa Mendez. Lastly, man, I got to go ahead and throw Hickson on there, brother. I got to throw Hickson on there. I think that would be fun to have that experience, to roll with someone who was once regarded as probably the best ever, right? So I think, I'm sorry to see that he's a little bit past his prime, but I've heard from black belts under him that he would probably still whoop my ass. So I'm like, you know what? I believe you. Like, I would take that. I would take that. You know what I mean? So
look, when I as a student of the game.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I look at people like that. I look at people like Grandmaster Francisco Mansour. I look at people like Mike Tyson and all these other greats that ever done it. And people like, oh man, they're old, they're this and that. I'm like, they're still them.
That's still, yeah.
They're still them. I don't care how old you may see somebody, how old you may say somebody is. But would you still want to be like, yeah, Tyson in his 60s? Would you still take a punch?
No,
absolutely not.
No, that's what I'm saying. So when my homie Jack Taufer, he's a Hickson black belt. He's the one that told me, Hickson's it's been shown he's on social media. He's suffering from Parkinson's and things like that. But he said that he probably still snatch you up real quick. And I'm like, that's
only
so
gonna take
cool.
that much.
That's so cool to hear, though. Like that, man. So yes, my top 3: Marcelo, Rafa Mendez, Hickson Gracie. Oh.
Yeah, man. Don't look. Age ain't nothing but a number when it comes to martial arts. Because, like, for example, last year, our now Grandmaster Joe Moira, he got his coral belt, red belt. I keep saying coral, red belt. And they had Grandmaster Mansour there, and he's there. He's older, obviously, and they're like, he's about to retire from jiu-jitsu. He's about to go to Brazil, retire, enjoy his days, blah blah blah. So the whole entire time during the seminar, he's like, they had him sitting down. He was just in the gi. He was in gi, but he was sitting down. And every time it was his son, it was Grandmaster Joe and his son Joe Jr. They was kind of like, walking around helping people and keeping an eye on him. Every single time they walked away, he found his way back on those mats. you just see him sit there because it's like you seeing all your kids and grandkids playing.
Yeah,
you want to get out there.
Yeah,
so he's sitting there looking around, talking to people. Next, they walk away. You just see him do this.
He's like, I'm getting my butt on the mats.
You just see like, no, you can't get down. You can't get down. And he's like, whatever. He's getting down there.
He's like, you can't tell me what to do.
You can't tell me what to do. Right. But yeah, man, I'm a firm believer of like people like that. Like they may be old, they may, bodies may be breaking down every second, but once you get them back in the element, dude, ain't no telling what can happen.
I know.
I just hope and pray that I'll be blessed to see that age of where they at and still do what I love, because I'm not stepping off the mats.
That's the thing, dog. That's my thing, bro. That's what I be telling these young guys that be trying to come up, red hot. I'm like, listen, if you want to stay long in this game, I get it. You want to win the rolls, you want to win the rounds, you want to get the medal at the IBJJFs, AGFs, Fuji, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. You want to do this for a lifetime, chill the fuck out. Like, chill, try to take things slow. I personally, I'm almost never above 70%. Like if you catch me at 80%, like I'm going pretty hard. You know what I mean? So that's just me. Like, and I'm always talking during my rolls, like whether people like it or not, that's how I'm going to keep myself in this for a long time.
Yeah, man. As once again, as Grandmaster Francisco says, man, do jujitsu now that you can do when you're 80 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the Gracies are a testament to that. He's a testament to that.
Mm-hmm.
I see so many people that's still out here training 60s, 70s, sometimes just starting being blue belts at 60, 70 years old, and they're going at it. That's, oh man, I love it. I love it.
He just turned 68. He's been training with me for about 1.5 years, 2 years. And I mean, he's getting it, bro. So we went ahead and gave him this blue belt because at that age, bro, like, come on, like that's got to count for something.
Got to.
On top of putting in the hours and showing competency, like he'll catch you, bro. He'll catch you slipping, and like that, it's again like that is super cool to see someone almost 70 years old still being able to do this.
Do that, yeah. Get out there and roll hard with these people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's a ageless thing, man. Martial arts is such an ageless concept, and it's like once you live in it, man, you just ain't no step away from it.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Well, all right, man. Ray, if you got any questions for me, man, fire away. If not, man, please shout out your organization one more time. Tell the people where they can find you, more information about One Community Jiu-Jitsu Club. The floor is all yours, my friend.
Man, I don't have any questions. This was a very seamless podcast. I feel like we covered a lot. I feel like you got a lot of genuine me, which, I mean, this is me day in, day out, man. So I would consider you a friend. I hope we can do this again. I hope I can see you on the mats. One Community Jiu-Jitsu Club is the name of our nonprofit organization. If you want to support One Community Jiu-Jitsu Club, you can find us at onecommunitybjj.com. We're pretty accessible on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. So yeah, thank you guys for everything. If you want to see jiu-jitsu in schools, support our mission, and we'll be sure to deliver that if we can.
Yeah, man, that's definitely something I love about what you're doing, man. Since like the first time I heard about it, I was like, I definitely gotta get in touch with him because we're on that same mission, and he has a little bit more knowledge about it. So I definitely was, picking your brain about it. But yeah, we'll definitely gotta do this again, man. And we'll see each other on the mats one day.
Absolutely, sure. Absolutely, yes, sir.
Well, all right. That's the end of today's episode. I would love to thank Ray one more time for coming on the show and blessing us with this jiu-jitsu knowledge. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please make sure you go and follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube so you stay up to date on all future episodes. This has been Talk Your Jits podcast. Keep rolling, keep grinding, and remember, long live jiu-jitsu. Have a great day.